Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always tuning in. You loved, you celebrated, and appreciated. Nigeria is in chaos right now, and it's like we're not hearing about it. The masses are suffering. Nigerians are suffering because there is no money. There is no cash. The government decided, the CBN governor decided with the president, decided to change the currency. And they demanded that everybody should go deposit their money, which everybody did. So there's no cash anywhere, hoping that we will start withdrawing the new notes and it will to be in circulation in no time. But that was a dream that Nigerians had that never came true. Because as it is, there is no new notes and the old notes are gone. People are hungry, people are frustrated, people are tired of the government. You know, they render calls every day to the president and the governor, the central bank governor, to all the politicians. And do you know what? The election is in 2-3 days time. And on that day of election, it wouldn't be surprising to see that these politicians will start spraying money. And I won't be surprised as well to see that the masses who were crying and shouting, who were so hungry and frustrated, will run after those money and pick them and then vote for the person that gave them those money. The problem of Nigeria is such that you don't know where to start. I'm a Nigerian right now, living in Nigeria, right? And I keep saying this, that when one African country is having issues, we should take it that the whole Africa is having issue. Because when one country is down, it affects the whole. And just imagine a country like Nigeria going down. A country like Nigeria being destroyed because of things like this, because of wickedness and greed of some selected human beings. We are all involved, whether we close our eyes to it, whether we say, no, I'm in Ghana, I'm not in Nigeria, so it doesn't affect me, right? Or whether we say, no, I'm in Cameroon, no, I'm in Senegal, no, I'm in Kenya, it doesn't affect me. But when one goes, the other shakes, because that is the joy they find. When we are separated, they can easily invade. So they try to stir problems here and there. They go to this country and cause it. They go to that one and cause it. And you know the painful thing? They use our leaders. They use our leaders to exhibit all these plans. Now, according to the CBN government, I'm going to show you something quickly. The way frustration is making people act and behave. Now, according to the CBN governor, the reason why he gave a reason that the reason why they decided to change the currency at this time was because of election, which is at the corner. Because it is suspected that it is because politicians buy votes that most of the times things are not working in the country. So they decided to change the money. So all those money that those politicians have accumulated in their houses, you can imagine. You see this tank for water, this GP tank for water. Someone will have the mind to fill it with money. They will build underground houses and fill them with money. These things you see them here in Nigeria. When people are out there struggling to get us a meal they can't have. And people are there wasting. I think it was here when I did a video about a trailer that was filled with money in Nigeria. A trailer was filled with money. The money was spoiled, so they were packing it secretly to go throw away. And then those who were driving these things were like, we are packing this, we don't even know what we're packing. And then they opened it a little bit and saw that it was notes that were rotten. This is a country where you will see that. A country where we are blessed with everything, but we have nothing. We are so rich, yet we are so poor. We are so poor and frustrated that everybody have become criminals. You go out, you go out with your passport as a Nigerian, just look at the way they'll look at you from head to toe. You are a suspect, even when you don't even have anything to do with it. Because it's like everybody in Nigeria now, yahoo yahoo, they are now terrorists. That is what we are painted out there when we leave the country. Like, you hear that, and that is the truth. This money that was supposed to be for the masses, money that was supposed to be in the ATM for people to go withdraw. The bank managers in Nigeria, of all the banks, are guilty. The bank managers piled this money and go give to politicians. As like you heard from him, presidential aspirants, all these senators, those coming out for whatever, because they need money to bribe people. Again, this is the problem we keep having as a continent. Now, they pile this money to go give to them and they sell it. Imagine, you use money to buy money. Right? They pay 150,000 for 1,000,000 naira. 150,000 for 1,000,000 naira. Now, according to the CBN governor, this policy was supposed to help the country get rid of this idea of vote buying during election, so as to make access to a lot of money impossible for the politicians and other people who are coming out for whatever, because they have accumulated old money in their houses and they said, okay, let's take all our old monies back to the bank. And when you come to the bank with certain amounts, they're going to ask you, why do you have so amount of money in your house? Just try to get those who are really into money laundering and other things like that, like those who are stealing money to save it and use it for election. Now, do you know what these politicians did? They used the masses, the same people that come to cry and shout. They use the masses, spray this money to them, and they go deposit this money in the bank, or they pay the bank managers. So the bank manager keep quiet, the bank manager go to their houses and get this old money to the bank. Now, there is no politician in Nigeria that still have old money in their possession. There is no politician in Nigeria that still have old money in their possession, because they have returned everything back to the bank without the bank knowing, or some of the managers are aware that this is what they did, and since they were bribed with money. Now, just imagine somebody accumulating 1 billion naira and they're returning that 1 billion naira to the bank to get 1 billion naira new notes. Just imagine, that is an amount that should be enough for a state to survive for some time, for the masses to survive for some time in a particular state. Now it was discovered that 400 billion was in the possession of one politician. 400 billion new notes on in his house. He built an underground house for these 400 new notes. This is who we are. This is what we do. Yes, we keep shouting. The Europeans have been doing this. The Americans have been doing this. The whatever have been doing whatever. But the one we do to ourselves is even more than what they come to do to us from outside. We are so wicked. We are so greedy. There is no money. There is no fuel. There is no electricity. I am telling you this. Like, I am telling you this because this is what we go through. Before we get fuel, before you get fuel, you have to still queue the way you queue to go get money. How do you think people will survive? There's no electricity, and this is the time that people need electricity. There is no electricity. Last week I had to dispose everything in my freezer because they started getting spoiled, and because there's no light, I had to start sun drying some, and so we not eat something that we start having issues. I had to start sun drying some, and the rest of them like that. Just imagine, at least we have food to eat. We can sustain ourselves with some money. Just imagine people that were not even able to have a square meal before now. Imagine how they are. A lot of persons have lost their lives at the process of standing on the queue to go get money from the ATM. There is problem. There is problem, my people. Nigeria is in chaos. Now everybody is hoping for the election. That when the election comes, things will be better. That is what everybody is saying. I just hope that as masses, we get sense. As masses, we wouldn't be swayed by the little money that we get. You know, some of us are so quick to forget our sorrows. Whenever we see that little money that would not even sustain us for a week, that money they give during elections, right? They use that money to buy your 4 years of suffering. You collect that money, you eat it in 2 days, and the remaining years you suffer. We don't think that. People don't care about that. We are the ones that get to vote these people into power, and we are the ones that go to cry. Are we going to open our eyes this time? That's the question. If you are a Nigerian, you're watching, is a question. If you are not a Nigerian, it's something that you have to sympathize with these people. Sympathize. Because it can happen anywhere. Just imagine a nation where there is no means of exchange. Because we have decided to give glory to the printed paper. Before now, it was barter system. What you have, you give in exchange of the other one you don't have. That was what our ancestors were doing. Now we decided to follow the European way. To give glory to a paper we go to print with colors and numbers. And this is the state we are at the moment. That this printed paper is putting us into frustration. Without this printed paper in a home, there's no peace. The husband would not talk to the wife would not talk to the husband. The children are tired, they are hungry. How do they have the energy to even talk? My people, let's open our eyes. All these political aspirants, those coming for presidential, whatever they have this money. They have money in their house, they fill their containers, they fill their storeroom with money. They don't care. Whether you are dead or you are alive, they don't care. And it's still your vote they'll come for. They need your numbers. They need your vote to get to power. This is the time we have the power. Nigerians, this is the time the power is in your hand. Who do you vote for? Leave your comment and thought in the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Bye for now.